Dr. C.K. Narayan as well as Kunal Bothra joining in as always. Morning, gentlemen. Dr. Narayan, going to come to you first with what exactly you're making of the kind of momentum that we're seeing across the globe, what that spells out for our own markets, and share with us what is it that you're looking at by way of individual stocks on the exchanges.
Good morning, Avan. Good morning, everybody. Well, as far as the global markets are concerned, they certainly seem to be in fine fettle. The Nasdaq had already reached a new high, all-time high, and the S&P 500 managed to do that yesterday. So the US markets have clearly recovered completely from the COVID sell-off that they saw from March onwards. But Indian markets are still trailing those levels by nearly 1,000 points. The good news was that we topped 11,400 yesterday. But as far as new highs goes, we are still about 1,000 points short of where we were back in Jan-Feb early this year. Now, much of that could be attributed to the poor performance of the banks and financials, because when we made that high at about 12,400, the banks and financial sector was actually outperforming the Nifty, and today we have the situation where they are hugely underperforming the Nifty. So I think that is the biggest change. Second is that maybe in the US you have all these tech giants which are bounding up tremendously, and in our markets we have only Reliance which has moved up so aggressively. The rest of the stocks are actually following in the wake. So you can say that metals are a laggard, and perhaps many of the other sectors are laggards. So we would need to see better price action for the Nifty also to haul itself up to a new high. But that said, currently there is a gap between 11,435 to 530. I think that's the immediate resistance that the index could try and make for. A more or less even situation right now as far as indices are concerned. A buy for today would be in State Bank of India. PSU banks were back in action yesterday. Bank of Baroda even moving into the futures ban, as it were. So State Bank of India is a buy for a target 203, stop loss 190. I want to mix this up with a short call in JSW Steel. I think this is a stock which is really wearing a stretched look on the charts as far as the uptrend is concerned. A record session count on the candlesticks which has now reached about 13, 14, which is generally indicative of a possibility of reversal. So short with a stop loss 285, targeting 265.
All right, getting a move on then. Kunal, let's get in your strategy for the day and share with us some of your top recommendations.
So good morning, Avan. I think yesterday's session was quite dramatic, because the Nifty not just broke out of its previous swing high, but this has been one of the better closes for the Nifty as well. Now, we've been talking about the health of the markets, that how in the last 1 week there has been new sector and new stocks which have emerged as strong candidates of up move. You also had the erstwhile high beta sectors and high beta or the rate sensitive stocks. They also managed to pick up pace. The cement, the bank Nifty, the real estate names, I think all of them have started to pick up pace. So this now seems to be moving into a full throttle rally on the indices, with the confirmation of a break of a swing high yesterday on the index. I think the going should be pretty good for the markets, at least in the very near term. Now, in that regards, I would suggest a couple of buy calls. The first one is about Ultratech Cement. Cement, after quite some time, has made a very good comeback. Now, the reason for picking up Ultratech Cement is because on that single day of post result, the stock had given a big strong price candlestick up move. Post that, for almost the last 1.5 weeks, the stock had been very sideways from 4,200. It had even drifted back to 3950, 3970 kind of levels. But it's now making a comeback again. And I believe that this comeback could be far more stronger than what it was a couple of weeks back. So I believe that Ultratech Cement could be a good buy, and I'm expecting at least another 200 to 250 points upside in the very near term. 4,400 is where I would place a target on the stock. Stop loss to be kept at 4,000 levels. And the second would be about Pidilite Industries. I think even this stock yesterday gave a price volume breakout. The stock also crossed its 200 moving average on the upside. So I'm sensing with the overall theme of the markets that many of the laggards are now trying to make a good comeback. I think stocks like Pidilite as well, which have been going very sideways and consolidating, could also make a very strong comeback in the near term. So that's also a buy. 1,500 as a target and stop loss at 1,380.